review of the Beatles album Revolver. It was released in 1966, produced by George Martin. This was the second Beatles album I ever got. I probably got it sometime in 2007, I can't exactly remember. I just know it was the second one I got. Because I definitely remember that this was kind of the album that made me a Beatles fan more so than the first album of theirs that I got, which was Sgt. Pepper's, which I'll get to that in my next video. And it's not that I don't like that album, because I do. It's just this one, I guess I kind of needed like more than one album to really kind of gauge how I felt about the band. And so this was definitely the album that when I listened to it, I was like, wow, I do really like these guys. Even though it's weird, because for some reason, when I got really into the Beatles around like 2009, if I had to rank the albums, then I would have put Revolver really low for some reason. I'm not sure why, but I just had this like time where I thought that this was one of the albums of theirs that I didn't really like as much as some of the other ones, and that doesn't make like any sense to me at all now, because now I think this might be like my favorite one of their albums. But yeah, for some reason when I got like all of the Beatles albums, I thought like less of this one for some reason for a while. I think it might have just been because I had listened to it too much, and I was kind of more excited about the albums that were newer to me and wanted to listen to those more. But yeah, I'm not sure what I was thinking. Anyway, this album is definitely kind of I think the start of their like psychedelic period, which I really liked, like the psychedelic rock. I know it's not something that like everybody's super into, but I think it's really cool, so I've always really liked this album. The first song, Taxman, the first song on the album, Taxman's a George song. It's always kind of been one of my favorite songs on the album. I think it's a really great way to start the album. I think it's a really relatable song, because who doesn't hate taxes? But it's just got some really cool parts in it. I guess I didn't know until kind of recently that was Paul playing the guitar solo, so that's kind of cool. But kind of a weird sounding guitar solo. It's cool though. So anyway, really cool song, really good way to start the album. Then the second song, Eleanor Rigby, is I think a song that kind of I feel like this album, it's hard to think of things to say about the songs that haven't already been said, because pretty much everybody knows these songs. Everybody has said so much about them. It's really hard to think of anything to add to it, and this is kind of one of those songs that it's like so legendary. I feel like that, I don't know, it's hard to think of things to say about it, but I think it's a really great song. I don't know, it's really different, but it's a really good song. The third song, I'm Only Sleeping, another song I think is great. Love all the like backwards guitar. I'm pretty sure what that is in that song. It's one of the songs, strangely enough, that I can clearly like remember listening to it and deciding that I thought it was a great song. Like I was, don't remember where I was going, but I know I was like driving to a camping trip and listening to it on like a CD player, and I remember just being all like caught up in the song, just like, wow, this is a really great song. The fourth song, Love to You, the George Harrison song, kind of one of his where he's getting into like the Indian influenced sitar songs. This one took me like a really long time to get into when I first listened to the album. Which, one of the things about this album though, when I first listened to it like all the way through, back then when I listened to music, I didn't have the attention span I have now, so it would tend to be like, I would like maybe like 3 or 4 songs off an album, and then I would kind of ignore the other ones for a while. This album was kind of unique because I liked pretty much everything on it except for like 2 or 3 songs, and this was one of the ones that it took me a while to get into, and I've heard other people kind of complain about the George's like sitar Indian influence stuff, but I actually think it's really cool now. I really love the sitar. I think it's just sounds really cool, and just a really cool song now that I'm kind of like, how did I ever not like this? Anyway, the fifth song, Here, There, and Everywhere. It's a pretty slow song. It's got a good vocal by Paul. Another one that I like quite a bit. Yellow Submarine, the next song is the Ringo song. Another one of the songs that I think everybody pretty much knows. I feel like a lot of people probably don't like it. It's kind of has been a little bit overplayed. I mean, I've definitely heard it way too many times. But at the same time, I've always liked the song. I think it's cool. I kind of like these, like, I don't know, the more like whimsical, childish, psychedelic songs, just because I don't know. There's like so many kind of horrible things in the world that I think it's nice to have some kind of just silly, whimsical things every now and then. So it's a cool song. The seventh song, She Said, She Said. Another one I like a lot. It's got some really cool guitar. Really like Ringo's drumming in it. He plays some cool stuff. Just a pretty cool, like, energetic song. Then the eighth song, Good Day Sunshine. Another song that I really like. Once again, can't really think of a lot to say about it. The ninth song, And Your Bird Can Sing. Really love the guitar on that song. Another just really cool song. Can't think of a lot to say about it, but it's awesome. 10th song, For No One's kind of a slow song, which is kind of cool. They have like a couple like really energetic songs, and they kind of like slow it down again. This album, I actually feel like it's paced like really well. Like I kind of just listening to the whole album is a really cool experience. I kind of forgot what I was going to say about the song though, but it's, yeah, For No One, kind of another slow Paul song. I really like the backing, whatever instrument that is that's in the background. Sounds really cool in the song, but I really like the vocal. I think it's a really good song. The 11th song, Dr. Robert, another one of the songs that it really kind of took me a while to get into. I think that this song and Love to You were the only two songs really when I listened to this album that I didn't like the first time. And this one I'm not really sure why. Now I like it. I think it's fine. It's still not really one of my favorite songs on the album, but I'm not really sure why. I just like really used to not like it at all. The 12th song, I Want to Tell You, another George song. And it's another song that I think is pretty cool. Couldn't really think of a lot to say about it other than, like, I don't know. It like definitely like gets stuck in my head though. But it's a pretty cool song. The 13th song, Got to Get You Into My Life, is kind of the song for this album that I feel like on every Beatles album there's one song that I really like that I always forget about. Usually they're kind of towards the end of the album. And this is kind of that song for this album. A song that I really like, but I always kind of forget about. And then finally, the closing song, Tomorrow Never Knows. That song is kind of just like nuts, but it's in a good way. I mean, it's just a really cool song, really out there. I think great way to end the album. Another one that kind of like, I liked it the first time I heard it because I was like, wow, this is really interesting. But it took me a while to get into it and kind of appreciate it more than just thinking it of something that was cool because it was really weird. Anyway, this album, I would definitely give a 5 out of 5. I don't really think there's a bad song on it. Might be my favorite Beatles album. I'm not sure yet because I really need to go through and listen to the rest of their albums because there's some like the White Album that I haven't listened to in a long time. But yeah, this is definitely one of my favorite Beatles albums. I would say this might not be a bad place to start with them if you've never listened to a Beatles album before. It's definitely got a lot of great songs on it.